Really annoying me. Hold on, Beerby. Hold on, Beerby. Can you hear me? Is this okay? Is it too loud? Is that Nightmare? Hello, Nightmare. Hi there, Nightmare. Hi there, Cammy. Hello, hello. Hello. It's been a while since I've done ASMR. What? What? What's PP? Oh, yes. Do you like the new profile picture? I very much enjoy it. Hi, Kyrie. Hi, Kyrie. Hello, profile picture. You pervert. So, today, hi there, Ancient. How are you today? I'm doing quite well. So, you know what I mean? You pervert. Buck. Hi there, Aiden. Today, I'm gonna read you guys the lore of Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts. Are you guys ready to learn about Kingdom Hearts lore? I'm doing alright. Harry, how are you doing? How's your twice light stick? Why does the Kingdom Hearts have hearts? I don't know. That's actually a very good question. I don't know. What is up? Thank you for the lurking. No words, Valor, no words. What is up, Madara? I'm in night break. Thank you for the hug. There's some cheese, man. Cheese, man. I love some cheese, man. I am a rapping ASMRist. We're gonna read some Kingdom Hearts. Artemis can step on. Yeah, I'ma step on you, Cammy. I'ma step on anyone. I got a new bike. Oh, that's awesome. That's actually pretty fantastic. Congratulations. Okay, so I hope everyone's having a wonderful day or night. So long as it doesn't show your face, then that's perfectly fine. Madara, you degenerate, you disgust me up. I also see Apollo. Yes, so I wish I could day as well. A glorious goddess of the sun. Thank you for that. Arigatou gozaimasu. Follow my Discord to know when we go live. Hi there, creature. How are you? How are you? Today, you guys are gonna learn about Kingdom Hearts lore. What's up? I'm ready to do something fun. Oh, what kind of fun? What kind of fun? Is it the good kind of fun? I hope it is. I hope you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? chance to guide you through the story of the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise in order of the game's universe overview of the order of the games without tons of spoilers. You can find it here. Murderer, I hope you have nightmares, you goddamn degenerate. So, we'll start from all the way in the beginning. G/Unchained G/back cover. Let me get comfortable. I'm gonna time you out, Murderer, if you don't stop being a degenerate. Get ready, Apollo. The tale begins in the age of fairy tales, where the Master of Masters has entrusted each of his 5 apprentices with a copy of the Book of Prophecies, a tome that contains the future, but also contains other power, like the ability to create worlds.
To my favorite person.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Yo, what the fuck? Creature Honey, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 30 gifted sub. Okay, that better be it. What? I thought you didn't have money. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. Is this what you meant by fun? Is this what you meant? Okay. Let me check what we have to do now. So, I have to chug a big water, change my profile, and Apollo. Hi, Galaxy. Welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. And to those who got gifted subs, enjoy those animated emojis. Creature. Thank you so much, my homie. Okay, so you just missed my cute 30s. Hi, Lillian. Hi, Arta. It's okay. How was your sleep? I'm doing alright. We're gonna read Kingdom Hearts lore. I'm just gonna chug a big water before we do. After stream, I'm gonna change my profile. Creature, because you were the one who donated 30 gifted subs, you get to decide what kind of picture I'm gonna get for my Twitter for a week. Do you want bald Artemis, cat Artemis, or do you want me to decide? Yes, Creature gave you one. Yeah, so I'm gonna chug water. Hold on. Oh, that was actually really good. Thank you for the water. I literally chugged it. Okay, bald Artemis for you then. Thank you for that. Of course, drinks water, else is a god is gonna learn nice. Oh my god, Aiden, you're such a sweetheart. Okay, so remind me, change my profile to bald. Okay, let's continue, shall we? I'm doing quite alright, thank you so much for asking. Also, I now have the 50 gifted subs. Yo, congratulations, Creature. Here you are making other streamers' dreams come true. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you so much, I appreciate that. Let's go, September. Okay, so we're gonna read Kingdom Hearts lore. Hi there, MSC. How are you? Is that my favorite? Homie? subs are cheaper for September. I thought they were. Is that not how it works? Nanakuri, that's so weird. It's a little weird. I'm doing quite well. What about you? Thank you so much for asking. It's when you get your really? Does it begin in September 26th? Right, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we're reading Kingdom Hearts lore if you're just joined us. And I hope that you enjoy the lore, because Kingdom Hearts is not that confusing, in my opinion. So, I'd be chilling, just contain the taste of ice cream. Oh, that's amazing. I wish you the best of luck. You deserve the best, and I know you provide an amazing experience. Thank you so much for sharing your lovely day with me. Oh, thank you so much for the hand pat. Arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Oh, what's happening? Oh, wait. Thank you for the hydrate. Arigatou gozaimasu. Chat. And now my shoulders. Yes, as you should. This is you guys, by the way. Nanakuri, wow, creature, wow. You should have done that earlier. Why are you doing that now? Okay. No worries. I got you. Okay. Now, the book foretells of a dire event coming, where all at war will consume the world, and darkness will swallow the light. The Master of Masters warns his apprentices that this event is a set in stone and is impossible to change, so not to fixate on it. Instead, plan for what's to come next. He also bestows a special task on each of his apprentices. Era is given the task of being the leader. Ace is given the task of supporting Era and taking his place should Era prove unreliable at his task. Envy was tasked with observing her fellow apprentices and acting as a mediator. Ava was given the goal of training dandelions, Keyblade wielders that would go forth after the war to help rebuild. And Gala was given a missing page from the Book of Prophecy that speaks of a traitor and his task with discovering who it is. The Master of Masters' final apprentice, Luxu, who was not given a copy of the book. Instead, Luxu was entrusted with the Master of Masters' Keyblade that had one of his eyes graded into it and told to take the Keyblade and use it to witness the events in the future. So the Master's current self could see them and create the Book of Prophecies. He also entrusts Luxu with a trunk that he's told to never open. With that done, the Master of Master vanishes without a trace, and shortly after, Luxu does the same. The remaining 5 apparently go about their own other main task, the formation of unions. Unions would be an unrefined team of Keyblade wielders that would work to carry out each union's goals, namely the gathering of Luxu, light, from various worlds that are eventually revealed to be artificial worlds created by the Book of Prophecies. This goal eventually starts to drive a wedge between stealing Luxu fears behind the scenes. The foretellers got increasingly worried about a potential traitor among them and begin to plot against each other. Thank you so much for the bit, creature. Honey, what are you trying to say? Save your bits for someone else. You already spoiled me. Arigatou gozaimasu. Finally, with the unions at each other's throats and the foretellers turned against each other, do all 5 go to war? in an event that history would come to know as the Keyblade War. Scores of Keyblade wielders died in a fierce battle between the unions to lay claim to the light of their own refraction. Kingdom Hearts, the source of all light, was swallowed up by darkness, and on a hill in the distance stands Lushu, holding the Master of Masters Keyblade. Now we're in Union Cross. Great job. Honey, thank you. Listen, I'm not gonna be mad at you because you're such a sweetheart. Especially because this is ASMR and I cannot stream. So, I'm trying to make... you're not gonna break me. Not today, Satan. Bad. Good job.
Thank you. I'm so happy today. I'm so lucky to have met you.
Bart. Wow, did Bart do this? Creature. No. Creature. Creature. Okay, you know.
Thank you.
Okay, creature.
I'm so happy today.
Thank you, Aiden, for the head
I'm
tap.
so lucky to have met you.
I'm just gonna mute the music because I don't want no one to be distracted by it. It's okay, creature. I'm just gonna mute the music. So, gotta keep that spirit high. It's okay. I'm not gonna get mad. I'm actually pretty, delighted. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, so hold on, give me a minute. Thank you for the stretch and hydrate. Following the events of the Keyblade War, the Keyblade wielders that survived awoke in various worlds that they had visited and that were created by the Book of Prophecy. The Keyblade War, remembered only as a terrible dream as they continued on their adventures and making friends in Daybreak Town and various worlds. However, things weren't like they were before. The foretellers were gone. In their place, 5 specially selected members of Dandelions. Is it me or is it hot in here? Oh my god. Creature. Okay, there. You happy? Buck. Okay. 5 specially selected members of the Dandelions were to take over and form a new union and lead the remaining Keyblade wielders. They were presented with special books that would guide them, crafted by Master Eva. Okay, fine, creature. You win this war. But this ends now. Black. One girl who received such a book, Sturza, was murdered by a shadowy figure and her book stolen. The other new leaders assemble, Scald and Emphora, friends of the player character, Brian, an inclusive fellow who hides his face with a big hat. Lorium, a pink-haired boy, and Celsa's brother, and Vanitas, a blonde kid. They begin to work together to figure out solutions for those who remain and how best to move forward. To assist them, a single copy of the Book Prophecy was left in the foreteller's tower for them. So they start not knowing that one among them isn't supposed to be there. Dun dun dun! Meanwhile, Maleficent has appeared within the world and has begun to try to enact a plan before sorrow could even exist. But despite her knowledge of the future, she cannot even succeed in the enchanted domain, let alone escape to the outside like she did before. A shadowy figure appears to confront her, explaining that she can't change the scenario that's been created. Inquiring further, the shadow explains to Maleficent that without the Book of Prophecy, no worlds could be created. So, in preparation for the events after the Keyblade War, data worlds were created instead. All of the worlds that the Book of prophecy created were recreated in data form for the Keyblade wielders. When Maleficent leaped through time, she did not land in her enchanted domain, but the data version. Because of that, she is stuck in the same loop regardless of what she tries to do. However, the shadowy figure can help her get back to her own time. Unicross is still actively being updated as of the time of this writing. They're gonna attempt to keep this roughly up to date as the plot points arise. Are you guys with me so far? Next is Birth by Sleep. In a more recent time, a trio of Keyblade wielders named Ventus, Terra, and Aqua seek to complete their training and earn their Mark of Mastery, a symbol of Keyblade mastery that demonstrates one's ability to resist the darkness. Aqua and Terra are both being tested for the mark under the supervision of Master Icarus and his colleagues, and current wielder of the Master of Masters Keyblade, Xehanort. I could say yes, or I could just pull the goofy. You're not wrong, Aiden. You're not wrong. Xehanort, however, tampers with the test, allowing for the darkness to manifest during the trial. Aqua manages to overcome the challenge and earns her mark. But much to Xehanort's delight, Terra seems to give into the darkness. While Icarus will not grant Terra the Mark of Mastery, he has need of both Terra and Aqua to address the matter of the growing problem of creatures in the worlds called the Inverse. Icarus then asks Aqua in secret to watch over Terra and make sure he doesn't stray into the darkness. Meanwhile, Ven is provoked into leaving, as well by Xehanort's apprentice Vanitas. At this point, the three young Keyblade wielders' stories divide, which, in my opinion, is my favorite part. Terra's journey has him seeking out the now missing Master Xehanort, who appears to be searching for the 7 princesses of pure hearts. On his journey, he unwillingly collaborates with a number of Disney villains, including Maleficent, to discover the whereabouts of Xehanort. At one point, Terra visits a world called Destiny Islands, where he encounters a pair of young boys named Riku and Sora. Seeing the potential of heroism in the young Riku, Terra performs a ritual that marks Riku as the next in line to inherit Terra's Keyblade. When he finally locates the Master, Xehanort warns him that Icarus is betraying Terra by holding back his potential and can't be trusted. This is only confirmed when Terra returns to Master Icarus, only to find him attacking Ventus. Terra intervenes and ultimately ends up slaying his teacher and father figure, driving Terra to flee. Ventus's tale, however, confronts the matter of Ven's dark past. A former disciple of Xehanort, the Master pushed Ven to the limits to rip apart the boy's heart and phasing out the light from the dark. Only Ventus survived the ordeal thanks to a young boy named Sora, who agreed to lend the light of his heart to Ven. Xehanort hopes to pit Ven against his darker half, Vanitas, to create a weapon known as the X-Blade, the ultimate and original Keyblade that is fabled to have the power to open up the heart of all worlds and the source of all light, Kingdom Hearts. When Ventus confronts Icarus about this fact, Icarus realizes that the only way to stop Xehanort from getting the Keyblade and Kingdom Hearts is to destroy Ven. The battle is interrupted by Terra, who kills Icarus and drives Ven into despair. Aqua's journey is spent trying to find her 2 friends who she worries about. Visiting many worlds after Terra has visited them, she learns that all the horrible things Terra has done, allying himself with the villains, and fears that she is losing him to the darkness. She also struggles to confide her concerns to Ven, who lashes out at her like she was an over-concerned parent who doesn't understand Terra. Aqua too travels to Destiny Islands, where she meets the young boys, Riku and Sora. Guys, sorry, guys, sorry. You guys could hear that. Sorry. Let's continue, shall we? I was so invested in the lore, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Okay. Aqua too travels to the Destiny Islands where she meets the young boys Riku and Sora, and while attempted to bestow her Keyblade to Sora, like, hi levels, hi. Well, cause usually when you use your yellow side, that's like a sun. Your dark form is like the moon. That's what I think it is. Ah, interesting. Thank you so much for stopping by. Sora, while and attempted to bestow her Keyblade to Sora, like she senses Terra did for Riku. She worries that it would ruin their friendship. Instead, she accidentally bequeaths her Keyblade to a young princess she encounters on the world of Radiant Garden, named Kairi, who unknowingly triggers the ritual by grabbing the handle of Aqua's Keyblade. Aqua also meets at several points with the powerful sorcerer Yin Sid and joins forces with his young apprentice, Mickey Mouse, across several worlds before ultimately learning the Icarus' death, and is ordered by Yin Sid to go find her friends at the Keyblade graveyard. The three friends reunite twice in their journeys. The first is at Radiant Gardens after they have each had run-ins with Xehanort's newest lackey, a guard by the name of Bragg, who wants the power of Xehanort is offering. The last time is at the Keyblade graveyard, the site where countless years ago the foretellers and their unions did battle and brought about the destruction of light. It's here where the climactic showdown with the Grand Puppet Master behind their conflicts, as well as the creator of the Unversed, Master Xehanort, and his apprentice Vanitas occurs. Ven and Aqua face off against Vanitas, only for Ven to have his heart absorbed and turned into the Keyblade. Aqua's able to defeat Vanitas with the help of Mickey. Terra, however, faces off with Xehanort himself, but is defeated when Xehanort uses the Master of Masters Keyblade to unlock his own heart and transfer into Terra's body, which turns his long hair a stark white and makes his eyes glow yellow. However, Terra's pure willpower is bound to his Keyblade armor, which acts on his own to strike down Terra Xehanort. At the same time, Aqua's defeat of Vanitas and the shattering of the now declared imperfect X-Blade triggers a massive pillar of light to consume the graveyard. Terra Xehanort is swept away, Terra's lingering well stays planted there, and Aqua and Ven flee to be found by Mickey. Levels, thank you so much, sweetheart. I love it. I'm so glad that you're here. In the aftermath of the battle, Aqua takes Ven's now heartless body back to the land of departure, where they were raised by Icarus. The land of departure had been consumed with the darkness after Master Icarus' death, but Aqua carries Ven into the throne room of the palace and uses Icarus' Keyblade to put the entire castle into a secret lockdown mode. She places Ven into a room where only those who already know where it is can find it, and leaves sealing the reformed castle, now dubbed Castle Oblivion, promising to return to wake up Ven. Aqua then travels to Radiant Garden to find Terra Xehanort, who has lost many of his memories. In attempting to help him, she triggers Xehanort's domain control on the body, and they have one final battle before Terra Xehanort tries to unlock his heart once more, wiping his mind and sinking Terra's body into darkness. It's 2 different people, by the way. Yes, 2 different people. Don't worry, creature. I'm pretty sure he knows. But thank you so much. It's always good to know. In attempting to help him, she triggers... Aqua dives in after him, but once it becomes clear that they won't be able to escape together in time before the gateway closes, she grants Terra Xehanort her armor and sends them back to Radiant Garden, where Bragg has brought his lord. Anson the Wise to see the amnesia boy. Aqua floats off into the darkness, her only comfort being that her friends are safe. Xehanort stopped and the unrest dealt with. Finally, Ventus's lost little heart finds a new home safely within the heart of a boy who shared his light with him before, Sora. Out of all the games recently, this game, Birth by Sleep, honestly is the most tragic one. And Kingdom Hearts 3 too. But before Kingdom Hearts 3, I find that Birth by Sleep was like the most tragic one because, they were all friends. They all just wanted to, train together. And then, all of this chaos ensues, and to think, they're all gone. All because of Xehanort. And I think it's just very tragic. But I like to say, in Kingdom Hearts 3, you finally get to see justice, I guess you can say, if you ever played Kingdom Hearts 3, in my opinion. But yeah. The next is 0.2, a fragmentary passage, part 1. So this is a game dedicated for Aqua at the time where she was lost in darkness, and this is in her perspective. This is all about Aqua. Lost in the darkness, Aqua wanders on, devoid of any sense of time. She is not even sure how long she's been there. She comes across worlds she once had visited, but have been consumed by darkness. And little by little she falls into despair as she wonders what horrible things must have happened in the world of light for all of this to transpire. She is constantly haunted by visions of Terra and Ven, until one point where she is able to contact Terra's heart. She is so overwhelmed by her happiness that Terra is there, as she almost reveals where Ven is hidden in Castle Oblivion, before the real Terra appears to stop the one who she's talking to, now revealed to be Xehanort. The 2 Terras battle for control before vanishing and leaving Aqua alone again, but now tempered with the knowledge that Xehanort was not defeated, and her friends still need her. She continues her long journey in the darkness before meeting up with Mickey Mouse again, who is searching for the Keyblade of Darkness that belongs to that world. Mickey explains that he and his friends are trying to stop the darkness and its minions, which he explains are called Heartless, by sealing the Door of Light. Aqua agrees to help as their journey takes them to the darkness-consumed world by Destiny Islands. Hello there, Purple Swing. That's a cute emoji you have there. I love Yoshi. As they succeed, he asks Aqua to come along so she can return to the light, but she says someone has to defend them while they close the door. As they succeed in closing the door to Kingdom Hearts, which Aqua notes looks nothing like the Kingdom Hearts she had seen before. Aqua rests on the beach of Destiny Islands. Oh, purple, that's a lovely name. I actually do like that color. My favorite color is blue, royal blue, any shade of blue, iridescent, black, and silver. Anyways, Aqua rests on the beach of Destiny Islands, resolved to keep fighting before the islands are reborn in the realm of light.
Thank you so
And
much for following these
Aqua
heavenly
slips
goddesses.
back into the darkness once more. Thank you so much, Purple, for the lovely follow. You just made my day. We're just reading Kingdom Hearts lore, by the way. You like Yoshi? Oh, who doesn't like Yoshi? That'd be insane. Yoshi's so adorable. Sometime after, she comes across an old man dressed in red robes who explains that he was helping a precocious youth save the world. Thank you so much for the head pat. Arigato. Aqua inquires whether the youth's name was either Ventus or Terra, in hope of news that her friends are well, but the elderly gentleman tells her a different name, one that seemingly puts a smile on her weary face. Sora. I'm telling you, every time you hear Sora's name, you just gotta smile, you know? And now we're in Kingdom Hearts. The first game, Kingdom Hearts. "10 years have passed since the Battle of the Keyblade Graveyard with Master Xehanort. On the sleepy little world of the Destiny Islands, the trio of friends, Sora, Riku, and Kairi, dream of leaving their world and going on adventures. They get their wish in a most unfortunate way, as a man in a brown robe tells Sora that the world has been connected and is attacked by a black creature known as Heartless. Kairi mysteriously vanishes when she is thrown by a blast of wind into Sora, and Riku invites Sora to come with him, and that they shouldn't fear the darkness because it is their way to other worlds. Sora, on the other hand, resists the siren's call of the darkness and calls upon a fabled weapon to fight back, a Keyblade. However, his efforts are for naught as the islands are still consumed and Sora is tossed to a world for those who have lost theirs, Traverse Town. There, Sora encounters Leon, Yuffie, Sid, and Aerith, survivors from another world, who tell him about the Keyblade, how it can open any lock, how it can vanquish the darkness, but at the same time, the Heartless crave it and will continue to haunt Sora and his strong heart so long as he carries it. Sora then also meets Donald and Goofy, servants and pals of the now King Mickey Mouse, who came to find a Keyblade wielder to help save the worlds. Sora, Donald, and Goofy decide to travel together and try to help the world and search for Sora's friends along the way. As they journey to different worlds, they learn of a plot by the villains from many worlds, uniting to capture the Princesses of Heart, 7 maidens without darkness in their hearts, and of the man named Ansem, who once studied the Heartless before being consumed by the darkness himself. Sora reunites with Riku only to find that his old friend is much more cold-hearted and antsy towards Sora, mocking him for abandoning his friends to run around with Donald and Goofy with a shiny new Keyblade. Meanwhile, Riku has been searching for a way to help Kairi, who he has found with the aid of his new ally, Maleficent, the leader of the villains. Only Kairi is trapped in a coma without a heart. This confrontation comes to a head at the world of Hollow Bastion, former homeworld of characters like Cloud, Leon, Yuffie, and Sid, and their once ruler Ansem, who experimented the darkness and eventually unleashed the Heartless on the worlds. Riku confronts Sora and proves that he has a stronger heart, and thus takes the Keyblade away from Sora. Donald and Goofy likewise abandon Sora because they are under orders to follow the Keyblade wielder. Sora chooses to persevere regardless of a weapon and finds his way into the castle where he confronts Riku once more. Riku laughs at Sora's pathetic attempts to strike down his former friend, but Goofy blocks it, saying that while he would prefer not to disobey King Mickey, he refuses to abandon his friends either. Donald then joins them as well, and using the strength of his friends to booster his heart, Sora wins back the Keyblade. Yay! Riku, in a panic, flees and stumbles upon a brown-robed man in the deep halls of Hollow Bastion. The cloaked figure explains that in order for Riku to succeed, he must give in completely and open his heart to the darkness and forge his own Keyblade using the hearts of the 6 princesses of heart gathering thus far. Sora arrives and Riku explains that Kairi's heart is trapped within Sora and that he will use his Keyblade to open Sora's heart and take it so Riku can open the door to darkness and find Kingdom Hearts. Riku reveals that he is no longer Riku, but Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness. Sora manages to defeat Ansem Riku, but then decides to use Riku's Keyblade on himself to free Kairi's heart. Kairi awakens just in time to see Sora vanish and turn into a Heartless. Fortunately, Kairi is able to call Sora's heart back from the darkness and return him to normal. Now all that's left for Sora, Donald, and Goofy is to travel to the end of the all worlds and face off against Ansem a final time. They defeat him at the gates of what they believe is Kingdom Hearts, but is actually the door to the realm of darkness. There, they find Riku and Mickey, who help to close the door and seal it once and for all. Kairi and Sora share a final goodbye as the worlds consumed by darkness begin to rebuild themselves, and Sora, Donald, and Goofy depart once more to find Riku and King Mickey. I love Kingdom Hearts. This one was obviously the first game of all games before the lore and stuff, and in my experience, the fact that Sora managed to get the Keyblade back from Riku essentially said, "My friends are my power." It's like a statement that will forever live in my head rent free in my heart. Kingdom Hearts is like so special to my heart, and I'm so happy that you guys are hopefully interested in it. And I know the lore could be a lot, but you know, in my opinion, I think it's worth the investigation for it. I just very much this game, Kingdom Hearts, is just the reason I am the way I am, if that makes sense. Part of the reason, of course, aside from anime and K-pop. But anyway, so the next part of the Kingdom Hearts lore is Chain of Memories. Sora, Donald, and Goofy's journey to find the king, and Riku takes them to a world steeped in darkness, known as Castle Oblivion, which is actually Castle of the Departure, where they encounter the black hooded figures known as Organization 13. The organization explains that Castle Oblivion holds the answers that Sora seeks, but in order to find them, he must forget. Unsure of what that means, and spurred on by his resolve, Sora begins to climb the castle floor by floor, with each taking the shape and form of a world he had previously visited. With each floor, however, Sora's memories begin to change. Creature, thank you so much for being such a gift to the world. I don't think you realize how much you impact the world. And thank you so much for existing, sweetheart. Love you, homie. Keep being an inspiration. What was I? His lucky wayfinder given to him by Carrie, Sora now claims was given to him by a girl he had completely forgotten back on the Destiny Islands named Nominee. In truth, Nominee is a girl described by the organization as a witch that has a power over Sora's heart and is being used to rewrite his memories so that he serves their purposes. I'm so fortunate to meet you guys. However, things are not that clear cut within the organization, as it is revealed that the small number that occupies Castle Oblivion are actually a splinter group that seeks to take control of Sora and overthrow Organization 13 properly. Thank you so much for the follow, Gra. We're just reading Kingdom Hearts lore. Thank you so much for making my day. Arigatou gozaimasu. One of the member organization named Axel is won by one, either eliminating the traitor members or is allowing them to be destroyed. Sora, meanwhile, continues his journey through the castle. He is confronted by several times by what he thinks is his dear friend Riku, but in fact a clone duplicate created by members of the organization. The clone Riku further fuels Sora's determination by mocking his attempts and claiming that he and not Sora will be the one to protect Nominee. Sora's drive becomes so violently single-minded that he even lashes at Donald and Goofy when they begin to question the changing nature of Sora and his memories. Alright, creature, no worries, sweetheart. Thank you so much for stopping by and have a lovely dream, okay? And if you do somehow come back, thank you so much for thinking of me. Go ahead, sweetheart. Thank you so much for stopping by. Love you, homie. Good night. Ultimately, Sora defeats Malusha, the leader of the Splinter Group, and finds Nominee who profusely apologizes for what has happened to Sora. She explains everything and her part in the plan. Hi there, Maggie. I seem to have arrived at quite a coincidental point. Yes, you did, Maggie. It's a pleasure to meet you. We're just reading Kingdom Hearts lore. We're at the part of Chain of Memories. So, apparently, as it states here, that she had been dismantling the chains that connect everyone to Sora's heart, causing him and them to forget about Sora. However, she says she can rewrite Sora's memories to the way they were and reconnect all the chains inside his heart. I hope that you like Kingdom Hearts. In your opinion, do you think the lore is confusing? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. As I was saying, the trade-off being that it would take nearly a year to do it all, and Sora would have no memory of what happened inside Castle Oblivion. Torn between losing Nominee and remembering the others, Sora eventually agrees and is sealed within a chamber of sleep. Thank you so much for the shout out, creature. Feel free to look at Discord and nothing else because I don't deserve nothing. Thank you so much for the shout out. Feel free to join my Discord to know I go live. That's mostly where you'll find me and my sister Apollo. We do share this account, by the way, just FYI. Sora, meanwhile, continues his journey through the castle. He is confronted several times by what he thinks is his dear friend Riku. Oh wait, Did we read this already? Yeah, I did. Oh my god, I apologize. I bet. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much for following these heavenly goddesses.
Thank you so much for the follow, Maggie. Oh, you guys are making my day. Arigatou gozaimasu. Such a sweetheart. Meanwhile, in the basement of Castle Oblivion, Riku awakens from slumber after having drifted here following closing the door to darkness. He begins his own journey down through the lower floors of the castle, where he confronts other members of the organization whose battles with Riku are recorded as data that is utilized to create the Riku clone. However, his greatest challenge comes in the form of facing off with the specter of Ansem that still lingers within Riku's heart and forced to face the darkness within him. Hey there, Gio, how are you? Thank you so much for stopping by. Along with Ansem is a red-clad man who calls himself Diz. He demands that Riku pick a side, darkness or light. With Namine's help, Riku realizes that just because he uses the darkness does not mean that it controls him, that it's as much a part of him as the light, and that he mustn't fear it. Riku awakens to using the powers of darkness and light to defeat the Ansem within them, and rejoins King Mickey, donning the same black coats as the organization uses to travel through the darkness. On their journey, they meet with Diz on the road, who claims Riku has chosen the path of dusk, to which Riku smiles and responds that it's not dusk, it's the road to dawn. Iconic. Oh, by the way, in case it wasn't obvious, my husbando is Riku. I freaking love him for obvious reasons, because he doesn't pick light or dark. He goes in the middle. Dawn. That's iconic. The next game is 358/2 days. At the same time that Riku and Sora are navigating Castle Oblivion, another story is taking place within Organization 13. This story is about a young man who has the power to wield the Keyblade named Roxas, member number 13 of the organization. Roxas was found by the organization is a world called Twilight Town that rests on the border between the light and darkness. There he was discovered and given his name by the leader of the organization, 13, Xemnas. Xemnas explains to Roxas that he's a nobody, the physical form left behind when a person becomes a Heartless, and that Roxas is in particular is special because he is a nobody that can wield a Keyblade, because he is Sora's nobody, created when Sora became a Heartless back in Kingdom Hearts 1 to save Kairi in Hollow Bastion. Roxas is tasked by the organization to carry out missions to eliminate Heartless with the Keyblade, which will release the hearts and cause them to form Kingdom Hearts, which the organization will use to create new hearts and become whole people once more. While out on his missions, Roxas befriends a fellow organization member named Axel, who joins him on daily post missions and ice cream sessions. As time passes, a handful of members from organization are picked to carry out a special mission in Castle Oblivion, with Axel among the numbers. With so many of organization going, Roxas is paired up with a mysterious 14th member, Shion. The two work together to carry out missions that reveal that Shion too can wield a Keyblade, and Roxas eventually sees her face, which appears as a black-haired incarnation of Kairi. The two begin to share post-mission and ice cream sessions, just as Roxas had with Axel, and they become close friends. Not shortly after that, around the time Sora's memories are being reconstructed by Namine, Roxas falls into a deep sleep. When Roxas awakens, he discovers that all the members of the organization that went to Castle Oblivion, save Axel, are dead. Hi there, Moonbloom. Hi there, Moo. How are you? I apologize. I thought I said Moon, but it's Moo Bloom. Hello. It's a pleasure to meet you. We're just reading Kingdom Hearts lore. However, as Sora's memory reconstruction proceeds under the watch of Naminé and a red-clad figure named Diz, who have relocated the sleeping Sora to Twilight Town, Roxas's own memories of his past begin to stir as well. Xian is beginning to have doubts about herself as well after a confrontation with Riku, where he proclaims her and her Keyblade to be a fake. I'm doing quite well. Thank you so much for asking. How's your day treating you? Happy Thursday, by the way. Riku suggests that if she wants to be real, she should leave the organization and merge with her true self. Xian turns to the organization in search of answers, and learns that she was created as a clone of Roxas, using stolen leaked memories from Sora, so that the organization had a backup in case Sora proved uncooperative or useless to Xemnas' plans. Xian's appearance resembling Kairi was in fact due to Sora's strong memories of Kairi, but now that Naminé has begun to weave the memories back together, Xian has actually been pretty. Oh, I'm so sorry. Tomorrow's gonna be a brand new day, and I hope that it's more better, because you deserve the best. You're an absolute gift to the world. I hope you know that. However, Xian's appearance also changes from person to person. For instance, Sigbarg, the nobody of the former Radiant Garden, Bragg, sees Pentas. Whenever he looks at her, others just see a hooded figure because they don't view her as a person. Faced with this truth, Xian flees Organization 13. Yes, of course, Bloom, of course. I must sleep soon, so I hope you all have a lovely, wonderful night. Sleep well, eat well, and take care of yourselves. Thank you for that wonderful reminder, Maggie. You do the same, okay? And thank you so much for stopping by. You've been such a delight. The story comes to a head when Roxas and Xian confront each other once more. Xian, now taken on Sora's appearance completely, has become fixated on becoming a whole and real person, and seeks to consume Roxas to do so. However, Xian's true plan is to get Roxas to put an end to her existence and free her from her torture, but knowing neither he nor Axel would do so willingly, she forces them into a confrontation. Until she perishes and allows herself to be absorbed into Roxas, and thus halts both Sora's memory restoration by trapping her stolen memories within Roxas and Xian's and Xemnas' plans. With Xian absorbed within him, Roxas gains the ability to wield a second Keyblade, and he sets off on a mission to fulfill Xian's last wish: free the hearts being used to form Kingdom Hearts. On his way, he confronts Riku, who has been sent by Diz to bring Roxas in. Roxas defeats Riku and forces Riku to unleash the full power of his inner darkness on Roxas, transforming his body once more into the form of Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. Using his full power, Riku manages to defeat Roxas and bring the nobody to Diz, who digitalizes him into a virtual version of Twilight Town, so that they can force the trapped memories out of Roxas and back into Sora. The story ends with Roxas talking with a trio of kids, Hainer, Pence, and Alette, as they make plans for the final days of their summer vacation. The next game is called Kingdom Hearts 2. A lot of people, when you ask them what their favorite game from Kingdom Hearts is, the majority will say Kingdom Hearts 2. To which I do agree. My favorite game is because it was my first ever game from that series, was Dream Drop Distance. But I love Kingdom Hearts 2 because of the fighting and the plot and just overall, it really experimented and succeeded. Same thing for Dream Drop Distance, in my opinion. Okay. The prologue of Kingdom Hearts 2 follows the final week of Roxas' existence in the virtual Traverse Town. He is confronted by Axel, who is under orders to try and bring him back. Or barring that not working, just destroy Roxas to free Sora's remaining memories. Either way, Xemnas wishes to have a tool to finish Kingdom Hearts. Roxas, completely unaware of his true existence and only processing the fake identity Diz implanted into him, struggles to maintain his grasp on reality as Sora's restoration nears completion. At one point, his heart actually contacts Kairi's, triggering her to remember Sora after forgetting him for a year and convincing her to begin her own search for Sora. Naminé attempts to interfere by hopefully convincing Roxas to willingly go with the plan by explaining that nobody shouldn't really exist and that by merging with Sora, Roxas wouldn't be destroyed. He'd become whole again. Roxas, however, rejects this as he believes himself to be his own person. However, Roxas is ultimately tricked by Diz and Riku, who has now become so steeped in his own darkness that he only remembers himself as Ansem, into activating the final step in merging with Sora. Sora awakens along with Donald and Goofy in Twilight Town with no memory of anything beyond the events that occurred at the end of Kingdom Hearts, with no other leads beyond a mysterious entry in their journal that says, "Thank Naminé." They step back on their mission to find Riku and King Mickey. It turns out that King Mickey is right there and offers them aid in dispatching a group of low-ranking nobodies dusk before ushering them onto a train with the promise of meeting again soon. Sora and his friends then ride the train to the Tower of Master Yin Sid, Mickey's former master when he was training with the Keyblade, where Sora bumps into Pete. Pete is a former resident of Disney Castle before he was brainwashed by King Mickey and joined forces banished with Maleficent. However, it appears that he is quite behind in the news since he is unaware of Maleficent's destruction a year ago. Thank you so much for the follow, Moo Bloom. You're such a sweetheart. Arigatou gozaimasu. Sora, Donald, and Goofy scare off P and his heartless minions before meeting Yin Sid, who explains that Sora is needed to travel across the worlds once more and protect them from both the heartless and the nobodies. However, no sooner than they leave, it is revealed that Maleficent has resurrected herself and is out for revenge. Dun dun dun! Over their travels, Sora and his pals learn about Roxas and Organization 13, as well as Maleficent, Pete and their new Heartless army. The journey comes to a head when Hollow Bastion, now renovated into a thrilling township by Leon and his gang, discovered the laboratory of Ansem. Not the one that they defeated a year prior, but the real Ansem. It would seem that the Ansem that ruled Hollow Bastion, when it was a thriving city known as Radiant Garden, was Ansem the Wise. The Ansem that Sora fought a year ago was in fact the heartless of Ansem, the wisest apprentice, Xehanort, or more precisely revealed as Terra, Xehanort Terra, who simply stole his mentor's name. It's revealed that just as Ansem was Terra Xehanort's heartless, he has a nobody too, Xemnas, leader of the Organization 13. So, yeah, suspense is building up in this game. The real Ansem, the wise, has been missing for some time. Xemnas, however, has his own plans in Hollow Bastion, where he descends into the depths of the laboratory to a room dubbed the Chamber of Repose, where he speaks to an empty suit of armor as if it were a dear friend, Aqua's armor. Meanwhile, Axel has been trying to bait Sora into becoming a Heartless so that Roxas can be recreated. To drive Sora towards the darkness, he tries to capture Kairi, who escapes with Pluto through the corridors of darkness to Twilight Town, only for Axel to find her there and bring her back to their organization's headquarters. Sora, Donald, and Goofy set out to stop the organization once and for all, revisiting the worlds by one at a time as they defeat the members of the organization until finally they are ready to take the battle to Organization 13's world, a world that never was. They battle through the city and into the floating fortress of the organization, where Sora is finally reunited with Kairi and Riku. They also learn that Roxas and Naminé were Sora and Kairi's nobodies from the times they lost their hearts in Kingdom Hearts 1. Kairi helps Riku regain his true form. Sora and his friends battle and defeat the remaining members, including Kairi, with her own very own Keyblade of the organization until only Xemnas remains. Levels, thank you so much for such a kind compliment. And you too, Bloom, such sweethearts. Arigatou gozaimasu. Diz and King Mickey are trying their luck to destroy Kingdom Hearts by digitalizing the hearts that comprise it. And it is revealed that Diz was actually Ansem the Wise all along. Dun dun dun! Ansem the Wise tells Mickey to rejoin Sora and the others just before his machine explodes and takes a large chunk of the artificial Kingdom Hearts with it. The group finally battles Xemnas and defeats the organization once and for all. Sora, Riku, and Kairi are all returned to the Destiny Islands to celebrate. Shortly after, however, a bottle with a note bearing the mark of King Mickey arrives on the shore of the island. And that concludes Kingdom Hearts 2. The next game is called Coded, Kingdom Hearts Coded. After the defeat of Organization 13, King Mickey, Goofy, Donald, and course, I can't read that. Hello there, dude. It's a pleasure to see you again, homie. How are you feeling today? Happy Thursday. Of the journeys, Jiminy Cricket all return to Disney Castle. There, Jiminy and Mickey begin the process of archiving the records of their adventures. When Jiminy finds a passage in his journal that he did not write, the hurting will be amended when you return it to the end. To investigate, Mickey digitalizes the journal, and it creates a simulated world containing its own data version of Disney Islands and a detailed version of Sora within. Yo, that story was fire. Thank you so much. You should really try playing the game. It's so amazing. And thank you so much for being such a sweetheart too, homie. Thank you for the head pat. King Mickey tasked Data Sora with fixing the anomalies in the virtual world, dubbed bugs, while pursuing a mysterious cloaked figure through the various digital worlds within Jiminy's journal. However, in the real world, King Mickey and all of his friends in the castle find themselves trapped in a single room with Heartless pounding on the door to get in. To their surprise and confusion, they are saved by Data Sora, who barges in the room along with the cloak figure, who reveals itself to be a personification of Germany's journal itself, using the vessel of Riku, who reveals that Mickey and pals are not in the world they thought they were, but within the datascape themselves. The journal then sends Data Sora off on a mission only to encounter the real world Maleficent and Pete, who apparently survived their battle with the Heartless in the world that never was, and made it into the datascape to search for something that Maleficent calls the Book of Prophecies, which is set to foretold the future and have the power to create objects, even entire worlds. She's suspicious that Germany's journal may have some manner of connection with the fabled book. Data Sora then finds and teams up with Data Riku to battle Maleficent before saving King Mickey and the gang by sending them back to the real world. Mickey decides to erase. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the follow, Keel. It's a pleasure to meet you. Happy Thursday to you. We're just reading Kingdom Hearts lore. We're at Kingdom Hearts Coded. Thank you so much for stopping by. Mickey decides to erase the journal, but this only opens a passage that mentions that the information from the data versions of the worlds Sora visited in his previous adventures has been added to the journal. In search of answers, Mickey sends Data Sora to adventure forth into a place that Data Sora has no memory of, since it was not from the journal that Data Sora was created from, and thus is quite dangerous. Data Sora realizes that even if he has no memories of someone, he still feels the sadness of knowing that someone was there and decides to press on. They find Data Roxas and Data Nominee, who explain that the bugs in the journal were actually created when Nominee repaired Sora's memories. Data Nominee explains that Sora, the real Sora, is a key that connects everything, and reveals that people like herself, Roxas, Axel, and Shion, as well as Terra, Aqua, and Ventus, are all in some way connected to Sora's heart. And as long as they are connected to Sora, they can be brought back. In fact, it is Terra, Aqua, and Ventus that Data Nominee created this whole scenario to try and get help for. King Mickey promises that he will let Sora know all of this, and bids the data versions a fond farewell. The story ends with Mickey sending a letter in a bottle with his seal to the Destiny Islands before meeting with his old master, Yin Sid, who reveals that with Xehanort's Heartless and Nobody both destroyed at the hands of Sora, it is only a matter of time before Master Xehanort reforms. Worse yet, Yin Sid fears that it will not just be a single Xehanort that's coming. Yin Sid tasks King Mickey with bringing Sora and Riku to him. It is time that he administers the Mark of Mastery test on the both of them. Dun dun dun! So, the next game is called Dream Drop Distance, which is one of my top favorites, #1 in my opinion. So, Dream Drop Distance is essentially where both Sora and Riku, you get to play both of them, but it's in a specific order. And I'll eventually play that myself, but basically, they both are trying to pass the Mark of Mastery, just like Terra Aqua. However, the Organization 13 actually tries to stop them. So, let's go on with that one. Actually, no, I have not, Bloom. I have not. But I do hear that recently. Sora and Riku are brought to Master Yunsid's tower, where they are given their Mark of Mastery exam, journey to 7 sleeping worlds. Worlds consumed by the Heartless, then restored but never woke up into reality and awakened them. To venture to the sleeping worlds, Yin Sid sends them back in time to just before the Destiny Islands fell into darkness. Yin Sid explains that traveling back in time is possible only due to having a vessel of yourself there to receive the consciousness. As Sora and Riku fall into the dream of the sleeping worlds, Sora catches a glimpse of a familiar brown-robed figure that spoke to him on the Destiny Islands just before he received the Keyblade. In the sleeping worlds, Riku and Sora are separated. They exist in the same world at the same time, but they cannot see each other. However, their actions can affect the other. Alone, they are forced to team up with malevolent creatures known as spirit dream eaters, similar to the Cherokee that aided the foretellers in the age of fairy tales before the Keyblade War. They must battle against nightmare dream eaters that threaten the peace and stability of the sleeping worlds so that they can awaken them. While on their journey, however, Sora and Riku both encounter the Heartless Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, the Nobody Xemnas, and a younger incarnation of Xehanort. The three never fight, but always making passing references to some enigmatic purpose. Ultimately, the three draw Sora to the world that never was and reveal the true purpose of Xehanort 13, to prepare 13 vessels for copies of Master Xehanort, so that they may battle the 7 Guardians of Light and form the true Keyblade, and that Sora is meant to be the last vessel they need. They submerge Sora deep into the darkness to be consumed, but his heart is protected by Ventus's Keyblade armor that forms around Sora. Riku, however, learns on his journey that this entire thing was a setup by Xehanort. That Xehanort's bodiless darkness at the Destiny Islands in the brown robe was used the same way Sora and Riku were to propel his consciousness back in time and infiltrate their mission before it even began. Riku hasn't been able to see Sora not because they are in parallel dimensions, but because he is in Sora's dreams of the sleeping worlds, like a personal dream eater. So in case it isn't obvious, this whole time Riku is pretty much the protector and Sora in this game particularly, pretty much a personal dream eater, like, a bodyguard essentially. In fact, Riku's coat bears the mark of the dream eater on it. So eventually we do come to find out that Riku has like a picture of a dream eater, which indicates that he's indeed that. Riku took up the job of Thank you so much for the hat pat, Aiden. Riku took up the job of protecting Sora from Xehanort subconsciously on their first drop into the dream, and thus has been part of it all along and never knew. In the real world, a group of former nobodies that once comprised Organization 13 had awakened in the laboratory in Radiant Gardens. All of Ansem, the wisest former students, and guards save Bragg, Aiza, and Xehanort are present. One in particular is eager to find out what happened. Lee, formerly known as Axel. He travels to Yinsid's tower using his knowledge of the corridors of darkness and reveals that he's a real person now, a result of both his heartless and nobody being defeated by Sora and reconnecting into a whole person. Stop it, what did I just wander into? Hello there, sweet arty baby. Hi. We're just reading Kingdom Hearts lore. We're currently at Dream Drop Distance. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. Yes, that is indeed what we're doing. We're at the part where we find out. Oh my gosh! Thank you, Dragoon, for the lovely follow. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you so much for stopping by. Happy Thursday to the both of you. And yes, thank you so much for complimenting my model. My artist and Rager did an amazing job. I'm so glad.
Thank you so much for following these heavenly goddesses.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. You just made my day, you guys. Thank you. A result of both his heartless and nobody being defeated by Sora and reconnecting into a whole person. Just like Master Xehanort, Lee reveals that his return to being a person isn't all. He's also able to wield a Keyblade but can't summon it on command yet. Yinsid decides then it would be best if Lee trained under Merlin to gain a better handle on his new abilities. I'm so glad it makes you happy. Have no fear, for I am here. Hello there, lovely bard. You know, Creature was such a menace. He kept dropping bits and gave so many subs. So I guess you made an influence on him, Bard. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. Just reading Kingdom Hearts lore. We're at Dream Drop distance. Riku ventures forth to the world that never was to save Sora, and battles with his own nightmare, Incarnation, the anti-black coat, before confronting young Xehanort, Siegburg, Sax, and 8 other hidden vessels, along with the newly reformed Master Xehanort. However, Riku isn't alone either. Donald, Goofy, King Mickey, and Lee swoop in to aid Riku in saving Sora and spiriting them all back to Yinsid's tower. Sora, however, is in deep sleep and trapped in darkness. It's up to Riku to use his newly gained power of awakening to dive into Sora's dreams and bring him back. Riku finds Ventus's darkness infused nightmare armor holding Sora and battles it to free his trapped friend. Riku awakens to find Sora already wide awake and eating sweets with Goofy and Donald. Creature being a menace? Nah, that doesn't sound like him. It is. Why would I lie? He's such a sweetheart, though. Thank you. I appreciate it. I just want you to know, Bard and Shifters, I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for being here and spoiling us. But just know I don't know how to handle it, so take that as you will. With their journey finished, Yinsid decides to announce the results of the test. I know you enjoy. Bard, you are so annoying, but I love you too, buddy. I love you too, buddy. He declares that Riku has shown the mark of mastery, but sadly, due to his defeat at the darkness, Sora did not. Sora, undaunted by this, celebrates Riku becoming a master before announcing that he has to go on a quick journey to do something for himself. Yinsid explains that Riku mastered the awakening power needed to bring back one of the Guardians of Light, they'll need to encounter Xehanort's new forces. Meanwhile, deep within Castle Oblivion, a sleeping Ventus smiles. The tale ends with Sora traveling to Traverse Town to say a fond farewell to all the Dream Eater buddies he made along the journey, and Riku bringing Kairi to Yinsid's tower to begin her training as a Keyblade wielder. Now this is the part of the game, of the whole plot, the lore, where things start to get a little bit more interesting. So if you're still with me today, just get a little snack and you'll see, you'll understand. So the next game after Dream Drop Distance is where things get a little complicated, so you gotta pay attention, okay? The next game is called A Fragmentary Passage Part 2. No, Bard, too late. That sounds like a skill issue. Watch me just like read out lore for every single game that I'm interested in. Next will be Final Fantasy VII. I just got off. Oh my god, how was work? Did you get that bread? Did you get that coin? No one asked you to be a menace, Bard. Thank you. I just needed to hydrate. While Sora is saying his farewells to the Dream Eaters, Yin Sid explains that in order to combat Xehanort's new Organization 13, they will need to gather the 7 lights. 3 of the Guardians of Light would be Ventus, Aqua, Terra, who fell into disaster over 10 years prior. I never asked. That's fake news. Mickey recounts the tale of meeting with Aqua in the realm of darkness to Riku and Kairi. Riku yells at Mickey and Yin said about how he should have been told, but Yin said states that he ordered Mickey not to share this information because Riku, and more likely Sora.
Thank you so much for following.
Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Bonnie. Happy Thursday to you, homie. Thank you so much for making my day. Arigatou gozaimasu. You guys are gonna make me so cry. Happy tears. We're just reading Kingdom Hearts lore. Thank you so much for being here. Would do something foolish like stage a haphazard rescue attempt and get trapped in the darkness like Aqua. However, now that Riku has earned his mark of mastery, he is ready to go with Mickey into the darkness and retrieve Master Aqua from her shadowy prison. Yin Sid also instructs Kairi that she must begin training with the Keyblade to begin the process of becoming a Keyblade Master as well, and assigns her to work with Lee, who they explain used to be Axel, to Kairi's shock, but she relents and chooses to trust him since he did help Sora out. Yin Sid grants both Riku and Kairi new clothing to help them along their missions. Not soon after, Riku, Kairi, and Mickey depart. Sora returns from Traverse Town to receive his own mission. Since Sora failed to acquire the power of awakening during his tests in the Sleeping Worlds, a power Yin Sid insists is necessary is the ordeals to come. He tells Sora that he must go and train with another hero who lost his power and regained it again, Hercules. Eager to visit an old friend, Sora, Donald, and Goofy jump into their gummy ship and head off to Olympus Coliseum to begin the next leg of their grand journey. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is when we go to dun, 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 Kingdom Hearts 3. Which, by the way, if you have not been following, this is all about Xehanort's saga. And Kingdom Hearts 3 is the conclusion of that. So we'll get to probably have like a new antagonist. Hi there, Desu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you for being here. I would have Bard, that's not the gummy ship that you think of, honey. Baka. Oh, it's not muted. It's because they don't have Kingdom Hearts 3 the lore, so I'm trying to find someone that explains it. You know what? I think I'll do the summer for Kingdom Hearts 3 in this one. I'm gonna transit to good night, sweetheart. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you have sweet dreams. Thank you so much. And have a lovely day ahead of you. So, as I was saying, Kingdom Hearts 3, right? This is where we get to see Sora slowly begin to accept hurt. Yes, hurt. I feel like I'm watching a show. I just sit down and start watching in the middle. Bart, that's so bad. Why would you do that? Let me put it to you this way. The whole time, Sora, oh, I'm coming back. Just have to switch platforms. Oh, thank you so much for saying that, sweetheart. Arigatou gozaimasu. I'm glad I can do that for you. But Sora has always been such an amazing kid with a happy-go-lucky attitude, such an extrovert, someone that you can always depend on, and someone who's very patient, such a good listener, and never once had his temper unless it was chain of memories, of course. That being said, however, in Kingdom Hearts 3, we get to see a new side of Sora where he gets to experience hurt. Hurt like never before. Essentially, what happens is he gets tested over and over to the point where he doesn't understand and almost gives up on why the Keyblade picked him and why all these people are connected to him. Keep in mind, this boy, Sora, this whole time he's just been a boy. And to think that he had this responsibility as a young child is crazy. Thank you, Luis, so much for the follow. Arigatou gozaimasu. And happy. Oh my god, thank you so much for the thing.
Thank you.
Arigatou. Thank you so much for making my day.
Lucky
Arigatou.
to have met you.
But yeah, Sora has just been such an amazing person, and seeing him get hurt, it's just crazy. And throughout the worlds that he travels, no, Bart, don't you dare! I'm trying to, you know. There, I'm good. Okay. So, throughout the time he's traveling through the worlds, Organization 13 members come out and pretty much taunt him like they did in Dream Drop Distance. Hi there, Cribs. How are you? Happy Thursday. My day is going great, if you're wondering. I'm so happy to hear that, Lavos. I hope it continues being just as lovely as you are. And Cribs, thank you so much for being here, sweetheart. I've missed you, homie. We're just explaining the Kingdom Hearts lore. So, as I was saying, I just couldn't mention it. Shut up, Bart. Listen, so, Minty. Nanikori? What's Minty? The thing about Sora is, as he goes through these worlds, he's trying to understand the gravity of the situation. And he goes to the Keyblade graveyard, essentially. But before he can go there, he needs to get all the people, 7 people of light, which are Aqua, then Kairi, Lee, all of the people. And the thing is, if you were here in the beginning of the stream, you heard that darkness will swallow the light. That wasn't fake at all. It actually did happen. And it was so bad to the point Sora was screaming. And the thing that I want people to understand is this is Sora we're talking about. Why is there a key? Well, because there was a war, and because there was a war, so many Keyblade builders pretty much fought on that battlefield, and there's so many Keyblades in that graveyard. That's why. But Sora, in my opinion, when I saw Sora in that kind of state, I was pretty speechless. I didn't know how to feel. Sora is, like I said, someone that I could never see have a mental breakdown. But when he did, because it's literally when he was in the graveyard, all of his friends that he made along the way basically what like got swallowed by the darkness. Kyrie, Lee, Aqua, Ven, every single person that was connected to him in a flash because of darkness. But then Riku said something to Sora just as he was about to give up hope. Riku said, "You're not like this, Sora. You're anything like that. And I know deep down you know that too." When Riku said that, it's like I had that same thought, and I think everyone else did too. And keep in mind, Sora was crying at this point, because it's like no matter how much he tried, the darkness would just still be there. And as the yes, what's the question? And as the darkness swallowed Riku, the screen went black and said, "And so darkness swallowed light." But then they were playing a chessboard. Not necessarily. It's more so she got ripped out of her soul or heart. So I'd say they were all gone. But Sora, being Sora, pretty much re-changed everything. But not without a consequence. He pretty much changed the future. And you know what they say in every movie? When you change something from the future, dire consequences will come through. And it did. While Sora did change the past, it ultimately, the price was his life. He's no longer existing. The memories that he had of people are still there. But he no longer exists, essentially. And I don't know, I think it's pretty crazy to think that. Because the whole point of Kingdom Hearts 3 was learning about her saving Kairi. Which, by the way, Kairi trained, and it was basically useless because she tried to fight only for her to get captured by Xehanort. So, yeah. Like, not even dead, like, non existent. Like, he just doesn't exist anymore. So, right now, we're at the point where we're trying to find how to bring him back. There was another thing I did want to say in Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3, we go visit a storybook. Winnie the Pooh. I don't know if you guys know who Winnie the Pooh is. But essentially, Winnie the Pooh for Sora was like a childhood thing. And what I found such a waking moment for me was when Sora realized his connection for Winnie the Pooh was like going away because he's not a kid anymore. He's essentially growing up. But at the same time, he acknowledges this and comforts Pooh. That's the bear that don't. Yeah, exactly. He has a crippling honey addiction. Yes, but he's a cutie, so it's okay. But yeah, Sora, like I said, is someone who I inspire to be, and someone that I want to befriend in this world. I think we all deserve a Sora, in my opinion. Xehanort apparently. Okay, so hear this. The reason why Xehanort did the things he did was because he took it upon himself, as if he was freaking God. He decided that I did all this because who else would take this responsibility? Who else would take this responsibility? He literally made it seem like all of his efforts were because no one else would do it. But see, that's what made him a villain. He literally did damage after damage, ripped apart every single friendship, and all because he thought he had to do that. And it's crazy to me because, by the way, he does go away, yeah, with Icarus. By the way, Zahinor and Icarus are friends, but now they're enemies, and now they're friends again, so crazy. But yeah, also Bard, you're nothing like that. Hi there, Ruby. How are you, sweetheart? Thank you so much for stopping by. Arigatou gozaimasu. We're just talking about Kingdom Hearts lore. Um, so Sora, we're trying to find where Sora is, and we're trying to find if it's possible to revisit him. Also, we get to get an introduction of this new character named Rosario. In Japanese, it's translated to night sky. And what's crazy is people are theorizing that he will be in the next Kingdom Hearts. Hi there, Panther. Happy Thursday to you. You're never late. You're just in time. Thank you, Ruby. Thank you so much for taking the time to actually stop by. That makes me tremendously happy. But yeah, as I was saying, we get to see Rosario, and he's essentially the opposite of Sora. So we'll get to see his journey next. Hello there, Raz. Thank you so much for the head pat. Arigato. How are you feeling today? I love your emojis, by the way. But so Rosario gets to pretty much be in Sora's place and says, I've been having these weird dreams lately. Like, is any of this for real or not? So we'll get to see the next Kingdom Hearts game. But until then, that's where we're left off. I think if I had a, I'm putting my own comments into Kingdom Hearts 3 right here. There's just so many things I want to say about it that I feel like deserve to have attention. Because out of all the games of Kingdom Hearts 3 really, really fudged. It was like so fudged. Like, it made Apollo cry. Literally made her cry because in the ending credits, we see them going to Destiny Islands, having a good ass time. You know, they pretty much defeated Xehanort for freaking good. For good. This time, for really, really good. Only Kairi is on top of that iconic tree branch with Sora. But then we see Kairi crying. Only then do we find out that what we thought was Sora sitting with her, he slowly disappears. Like, Thanos snapped and he essentially just disappeared. Literally gone. Like, snapped. Yeah, a lot of memes about that, as you can imagine. But now it's crazy because Sora says, I only did this journey to save Kairi, and now it's Kairi's turn to save Sora. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. But I think I'm really glad for the way it happened. You'll have a lot of reactions when asked, "What is your opinion on Kingdom Hearts 3?" People will say it's either rushed, it was good, a lot of mixed reactions. Personally, for me, there was one particular world I feel like could have been better, but at the same time, I understood why it had to be the way it did. I'm not gonna say names, but I get it. But the way it ended made me mad because why did Sora have to leave, Like, why? This man has been through a lot. We deserve a freaking happy ending, but at the same time, I get it because I feel like it needed to happen, and I feel like this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. We're gonna see Yozorio, and we might even see them in real life. Like, I don't know if you saw the trailers. Like, I think it was like a year ago, 2 years ago. But Sora woke up. Like, he's actually in Shibuya, like Japan Shibuya. And he's like a freaking adult now. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the trailer, but like this Sora is a fucking adult. Sorry for cussing, I apologize. But like, wow, like we've seen this man become like a child to adulthood. It's crazy. Yeah, it's freaking crazy to me. And because he's such an adult now, I have so many questions. Like, okay, is his personality gonna stay the same, or like, is it gonna change a little? Like, what's gonna happen? You know, like, is he the Kasora that we know and we freaking love, or is he like still him but like a little bit different because of the journey that he did? Um, he's not like an average hero, if I'm being honest. Yeah, a lot of people like to say heroes protect the world and wouldn't sacrifice anything. Villains would sacrifice everyone just for your happiness. Sora is neither. I feel like Sora is in his own category. He's all a dream in it, bro. That's Pokemon. That's Pokemon. But yeah, what I hope will happen in Kingdom Hearts 3 is maybe give Sora. I mean, it's pretty obvious that I'm actually pretty curious about Yuzoriel's involvement. Like, what's he got to do with it, and why are we seeing him now? And is it gonna revolve around Zoriel? Like, what about Sora? You know? I don't know. Like, there's just so many things in my head, and I, I, you best believe when that game comes, I'm gonna play the shit out of that game. Like, to Sora Nomura, this man is an evil genius. It's an evil genius. Yeah, so hopefully I did a good job for Kingdom Hearts 3. But if you are ever interested in any of the summaries that I just said, I highly, highly recommend buying the combo pack 2.8, I believe, or 1.5, because those games have 3 games in one. So I do highly recommend it if you're ever interested in that. But yeah. Um, if you're new here, my name is Artemis Magi. I share this wonderful channel or stream with my sister Apollo. She is the sun goddess. I am the moon goddess and demon. And thank you so much for being here. Also, we're not ending it. I just felt like I needed to have a mini introduction, and yeah. And if you like what you saw here, then I guess we're homies. I'm gonna need you to record you reading them all and posting them all. Oh my gosh, should I do that? Should I do that? Should I just start reading on YouTube? Bet, Bard, I will do that. Oh my god, I'm just gonna read freaking lore of my favorite games, which at this point is just Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy, but only because Final Fantasy is with Kingdom Hearts. I should probably do that. Oh my god, I mean, scary stories también y todo. What? So then I won't be lost. Bard, listen. A lot of people like to point out Kingdom Hearts lore is so confusing, but in my opinion, it's not really confusing. I mean, a lot to take in, of course, but nevertheless, to me, it's not a lot. I don't know. That's just me, though. That's just me. Spoopy stories. Do you want me to read a story? A scary story? I'll read you a scary story. Too bad, Bard. You're not my Patreon. Or else it would have been free. Okay, so we're gonna read one scary story, and then we're gonna end it here. Okay, so the title for this is called Stalked by a Weird Man. Probably bored. Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce. I'm dead. Keep in mind, their English isn't their first language, so they're sorry if everything isn't 100% clear. This story takes place a few years ago while I was still with my ex-girlfriend. I was around 17 or 18 at this moment. I was living with my parents and we lived in a little town of 300 people. It's literally the campaign with 3 farms in this town, which includes lots of fields. We had the habits of walking in those fields thanks to a little path which is really old. There's place for only one car, or truck, or tractor. It was an afternoon around 5 or 6 p.m., and we decided to eat some stuff into a field near the road, so we can see the road and people on the road can see us. The field, which belongs to my neighbor, who are okay with the fact that we're here, is separated from the road thanks to the barbed wire. It's a few miles from my parents' house. So they smoked weed and drank, we ate, we listened to music, everything was alright. However, at one point, a car parked on the middle of the road and a guy went out of his car and is doing stuff on the bushes. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, the dude is just picking stuff like nuts or whatever because it's the end of the summer, but I keep an eye on him. I talk with my girlfriend just like I did all afternoon until then, and I looked back at him. The guy is standing still behind his car and he's looking right at us, motionless. I don't say anything and looked back at my girlfriend. I give him another look 30 seconds, 1 minute later. The guy has moved, but he's now at the other side of his car. And same thing. No motion, just looking at us. The same process is about to be repeated two more times, with him at different location around his car. I have chills and thinking the situation isn't normal at all. The guy suddenly went back into his car and moved away. At this moment, I told my girlfriend, pack up your things, we're moving. She thinks I'm kinda overreacting, thinking I'm paranoid because of the weed we smoked, but she listens to me. We're back on the road, going the other way the guy went. The road is a circle. Every way leads back to my house. And guess who has turned around and is coming right behind us with his car? This guy, still looking at us while driving. He keeps his road and turns around once again to keep staring at us. This process repeats 2 times. At this moment, my girlfriend told me I was right, so we took his plate and tried to call my parents. No one was answering. The last time the guy passed our level, I can clearly see something on his passenger seat, but I don't know what, but my neighbor came right behind him with his truck. I stopped my neighbor and told her what we just witnessed. She gets us in the truck. We went back to my parents' home. My dad is a cop. I told him the plate and he looked at it. The car belonged to a grandma and was stolen. End of this part of the story. Update. A few weeks later, as every day, I go take my bus in the next town, which is 7 minutes of a bike. It was so dark because it's pretty early in the morning. When I left my parents' home on my bike, I noticed light behind me. It was his car. I don't know how he knew I was there. Maybe it's pure bad luck for me, but I'm 100% sure it was his car. He followed me until I took a path which a car couldn't come through. Only bikes and pedestrians can take. I turned off my light and drove until I went to my bus in the complete dark in order to not be seen by this guy. I kept using this way for the next 2 years, and I never met him again. To the guy who stole a grandma's car and stalked me and my girlfriend, let's not meet again. That was pretty crazy. I'm reading. So basically, what happened was this guy was being creep to this dude and the dude's girlfriend, and I'm glad that they are safe, and I hope he sips on Legos and all that jazz. But yeah. Okay, guys. I think with that, we're gonna raid someone. And thank you so much for joining here today. I do appreciate it. Apollo's gonna be the one picking. Yeah, I think that was the message. That was the message. Thank you so much for joining me today. So we're gonna raid my homie, Edgy Casper Wounds. Please be good to him. He is such a sweetheart. And yeah, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.